Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BSG. I'm still your everyday speedrunner. I'm still your host. Coming right up. One small donation before we kick things off. I've got another donation from my dad with €1 whole saying raindrops keep falling on my head. La 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 la. That's probably a reference I'm too young to understand. So right now we've got Morrowind by our very own zebogo. Zebogo, take it away.
Hey, yeah, what's up? I'm zebogo. I'm Zeb. This is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This is an open world RPG in the Elder Scrolls series from 2002.
What's your name?
We are going to be running all main quests, which is an extremely glitchy, extremely wild category. I believe we had a donation incentive for my character name. Just confirm for me that it is indeed Lord Thaddeus Wombleberry III.
Let me look that up real quick.
Because if it is, whoever gave €5 for that is the true hero of BSG.
Yes, Lord Thaddeus Wombleberry III. Lord just spelled out Thaddeus, Thaddius, and Wombleberry, Wombleberry, and then the third as in 3 eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, just like that.
That's going to be fun, because the length of my name changes the placement of some of the dialogue menus in the game.
Oh boy.
It's going to be great. Yeah, so Morrowind, this is the long category of Morrowind runs. It's about 20 minutes with load removers, about 25 minutes real time.
Quiet.
We played the entire plot of the game in order. Time will start when I get control of my character. So 3, 2, 1, and we're off. So, Morrowind has a relatively tame start. That skip is really inconsistent. You can get in front of this guard. It has a relatively tame start. You will notice I'm running diagonally because it's adding my forward and horizontal movement. So I'm moving at the square root of 2 times my normal speed, which is a wonderful feature. But character creation is relatively tame. We set up a red guard with a certain set of stats and skills to go faster.
Follow me up to the office.
We're gonna run basically the first 2 minutes of the any percent run. Get out of my way. We're gonna run basically the first 2 minutes of the any percent run, and then we're gonna go and beat the entire game in order, and then we're gonna beat the last 30 seconds or so.
There are a few ways
so you will get to see it. This is what in the Axiom Verge community is referred to as a yes major glitches run. If it's a glitch, we'll use it in this run. We're gonna go out of bounds probably 50 times. We have a bunch of sequence breaks. We give ourselves infinite stats. We fly, we teleport, we one-shot people with magic lockpicks. We enchant a pair of shoes that makes people think we finished their escort quest.
Interesting.
I'm gonna try to explain everything I do, but this game is gonna get going pretty fast. So if I miss something, sorry in advance. First glitch here. I'm gonna steal this plate and drop it on the table. And since we dropped it, the guards don't think it's stolen anymore, so we can immediately go sell it. Get some quick cash that way. Finish up the rest of this tutorial here. Give our ring to our friend to go shopping. We have now finished the tutorial, and we are loose on the world. The game wishes us good luck. And we are moving. Morrowind has a lot of very precise menuing going on. Probably about 30% of the game is just clicking. One of the running jokes on my stream is that the main character's canonical name is Speedy Clicky Fingers, and we're not totally wrong there. We're going to use 3 kinds of teleportation in this run, and we just bought them all from that guy. There's fast travel, which you go to, like, the taxi, which is a giant flea, because this game is weird. There's intervention, which teleports you to a location, and there's mark and recall, which lets you set a teleport point, but there's also this. That's a carrion flight. The carrion flight lets you jump really high, but it's very difficult to control where you will land. So we're going to use that to very precisely skip 40-ish hours of the game in just a second. The way a carrion flight works is it buffs our acrobatic skill, which determines jump height, jump speed, jump distance, and fall damage. So here we go. And we are going to take off, and our goal is to land. We are no longer in control of our character, we're just jumping. Our goal is to land inside of the door of the second to last dungeon in the game to grab the dagger Keening. We're off by about 10 feet. So we're now in the second last dungeon in the game. We're going to steal this dagger. In addition to needing this dagger to beat the game, we also can weapon swap at high speed in order to make its buff stack, which will give us functionally infinite movement speed, which we do just by binding weapon swap to our mouse wheel. So you'll see in the top left corner of the screen, I now have a 2,600 speed, which lets me, among other things, fly through walls whenever I feel like it. We're going to land in this tower. We're going to immediately go out of bounds. We're going to spend a lot of the rest of this game flying around outside of the world. Here's a glitch. We're in 1.0 right now for this glitch. If we auto-attack someone with a lockpick, they die in one hit, because lockpick's still infinite damage. I'm going to take this guy's gear, do the weapon swap glitch again to give ourselves a lot of luck, and then I'm actually going to quit the game. We've been in 1.0. 1.0 is extremely crashy. So what I'm doing right now is I'm copying my save file from 1.0 into the Game of the Year edition, into GOTY, and what that does is it effectively patches the game mid-run. So we are now in 1.6, which gives us a completely different set of glitches. It gives us a completely different set of bugs. It lets us be much more stable as we play. Nope, didn't want to hit new. I want to load. So that's going to mess up my personal timer, but we're going to load in our quick save here, which will take us to right where we left off with our infinite stats. And we will be able to, I mean, the game doesn't freeze, which it didn't. We'll be able to beat the rest of the game at ludicrous speed with no problems at all. So,
do you have one quick moment?
Give me a quick moment. I love quick moments.
Could you turn down what was it again? The SFX and the voices just a bit in sound settings.
Is that better?
Probably.
Cool. Sorry about that.
No worries.
The game also tracks volume levels differently in the two versions, which is hilarious. Is that better?
Yes, it sounds better to me.
Cool. Awesome. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what we're doing right here is I'm getting that teleportation spell I was talking about earlier, which I'm going to use to move very rapidly around the world. We have one more piece of setup we have to do here. We're going to make a spell that lets us permanently increase NPC's speed, which is very useful for escort quests. So there's a spell making system in this game which is notoriously broken. It breaks by accident when people are playing this game. You'll often be like, oops, I just screwed up the spell making system and now I deal infinite damage or whatever. We are making a spell that has a bunch of effects we want, and one effect with 0 duration and 0 target, which makes every other effect permanent, because this game is extremely stable. And so we're going to use that to make ourselves extremely attractive so that no one cares that we commit crimes, and to make NPCs run really fast. And I'm going to hotkey everything up. 1 is intervention, 2 is recall, 3 is levitate, 4 is mark, 5 is 45, and 7 is a lockpick. And now I have almost every tool I need to beat the game. This being an open world game, we can, in fact, do basically every quest in the game in any order we want. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get a quest item that we won't need for another 3 minutes. But it's just out there in the world just chilling. There's no trigger for it to spawn that says you have to be on the quest. So I'm going to steal this guy's head from this tomb and leave. We're going to go meet our main quest giver. This is Caius. Caius is a fan favorite, mostly because he's a shirtless, deranged gentleman who lives in a hut at the edge of town. And this extremely ripped old man is going to give us all of our orders for the rest of the game. He's also going to help us level up later. We're going to steal his bed, like you do. So, Caius just gave us a quest to steal a Rubik's Cube from the ancient dwarves, because this game makes a lot of sense, which we'll do by flying up through the wall. This is a whole maze of its own. If you played this game, I just messed that up big time. If you played this game casually, you'll remember this subzone here takes a long time to get through. We know exactly where our cube is. We've got it. We're gone. So, the plot of Morrowind, I guess now's a good time to talk about the story. The story of Morrowind is divided into 3 parts. The first part is about learning about this weird world where these dark elves live, the island of Vardenfell. The second part is realizing that we are their messiah, their Nerevarine, they call him. And then the third part is using that realization to kill God by blowing up his mecha, because this is a fantasy game and that makes sense. So right now we're doing our last setup and we are finding out what is going on here. And we've had, oh, we didn't crash, good. Okay, that's a little hairy moment, sometimes the game crashes there. The last piece of setup is this pair of shoes that we're gonna make. We're gonna make a pair of enchanted shoes that have a spell on them that causes NPCs' dispositions to underflow, which makes them think that we've done the quest for them without having to actually do our quests. We're gonna hit people with them to skip escort quests throughout most of the game here. Because escort quests are terrible, and hitting people with magic shoes to skip them is something every game needs. Buy some spells, okay, travel. So you'll notice I'm clicking through a lot of menus very quickly. I said earlier this game is about 30% menuing. That's an optimistic assessment. It might be closer to 50 by time. And the rest is flying around out of bounds at high speeds. So here she is. We are going to learn how to make magic shoes that control people's minds, because that's a normal thing to do at level 3 in a role-playing game. Command humanoid 21 to 21. Okay, put that on our hotkeys real fast. And now we have all of the tools that we will need to beat the rest of the game. We finished our setup. We do need to be level 3, so we're going to rest in our boss's bed 3 times. He lets us sleep in his bed, which is really cool. But if we touch his pillow, he'll kill us because that's stealing. And that breaks the run. So sleep in his bed all you want, but don't touch his pillow. If you touch his pillow, bad things will happen to you. We're going to take the giant flea taxi to the capital city, and we are going to immediately use those spells we created to get some information from some people. The first one is an Argonian. He's a lizard. He's in this bar. He doesn't want to be in this bar. He has an extremely long escort quest where we take him to a bookstore. We just hit him twice with the shoes, and he likes us now. And then he goes off and does the escort quest, which is pretty funny. He goes and walks to the bookstore without you. And next, we have to kill this guy. He's dead.
Do we maybe have a small moment?
What's up?
Do we maybe have a moment for some donations?
Yeah, hit me with some donations.
All right, I got €2 from my dad again, with no comment this time.
I'm glad that your dad likes Morrowind. I do too.
I've also got I've got €3 from Ridabel, who says zebogo.
Ril, what's up? Thank you so much. Ril has watched me play this game several times and is an awesome human being. Thank you so much, Ril. I appreciate you.
I also appreciate him. And I've got a €30 anonymous donation that says, "Hi Zebogo, don't forget to make your choice of sauce. Proud of you."
I know exactly who that is. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here watching. You make me so happy, and I appreciate you a lot. And I will make my choice of sauce. So anyway, we picked up some more quests. We're on getting into the second phase of the run now, where we have to persuade everyone that we are in fact their idol, their hero, their whatever incarnate. And so we learn that Ashlanders like bribes. And we are gonna go and do the second phase of this game, which is a ludicrously long 7-part quest chain. With fetch quests and going to this place and getting this thing and going to the next place. We know where the last one of those items is because we're speedrunners. And it's in a tomb being guarded by a ghost. It's a magical longbow. And so we're just going to go to this tomb and we're going to steal this bow from this ghost. And that will let us skip this entire sequence of quests. So here's the tomb. We're going to fly around out of bounds. It's way easier than trying to navigate this horrible maze. Overshot that door. Here is the ghost. Trust me, he's here. He's really hard to see. He's kind of see-through, but we got him. Gonna steal the bow from his corpse. And we have now cut off probably 25 hours of gameplay. Conservative estimate. Maybe 20 if you know what you're doing. By skipping that quest sequence. So, we are all ready to go and find out that we are, in fact, the Neverine, do their initiation rite. Go talk to their grandma, and she will tell us to solve a riddle. The answer to the riddle is 6 a.m. So we sleep until 6 a.m. and then go and find an ancient portal, which only opens at 6 in the morning. My boss will be very proud of, because he wants me to be up at 6 in the morning. So here we go. We are on our merry way to go find the ring of Moon and Star. In this room, I will warn you, there is a skippable cutscene, which I'll be doing my best to skip, but it is extraordinarily loud. So Azura is going to yell a single syllable at us at comical volumes that I can't prevent. And then we'll cut her off. But here she is, volume warning. And she's done. Cool. So, next up we have to go kill some more NPCs. This sequence is really kind of frustrating when you're just learning it. You'll notice as I kill these NPCs that actually stick around for a second. I don't just leave the room. That is because this game does not register NPCs as dead until their death animation has finished playing. So I can shoot an NPC and find out way later in the run that even though they're at 0 health, they didn't fully die. And I have to fly all the way back to where I killed them. I have to figure out which NPC didn't fully die, fly back to the cell they're in, and watch them finish dying before the game will let me progress further. There's a couple of these NPCs in these towers that I'm going to be shooting from out of bounds, and if I don't confirm that their death animations have finished, like that, the game might make me fly all the way back up here, figure out which tower I didn't clear properly, and make me watch them die again. I don't have to shoot them, I just have to wait for them to die again. So, she's fully dead. That was the fast death animation. Death animation is also randomized, so sometimes you get the slow death animation. They do this really dramatic, like falling over slowly vibe. Another escort quest. Gonna hit her with my shoes. I'm gonna stand inside of her head apparently, and then hit her with my shoes. And escort quest is done. And we're back to the base camp here to finish up that long quest chain that took us, what, a minute and a half? So, we are going to be going to the single worst split in the game. This is the Crab Rave. This is where all PBs go to die. This is the escort quest we cannot skip. All we can do is hit this kid with our Go Fast spell and pray that he will end up following us the right direction. It's in this giant crab shell here in the town of Aldroon. He's up here on the right. If anyone can figure out how to skip Crab Rave, it will save probably 2 minutes off the run and probably 20 years off my life in frustration as I have to make this kid follow me really slowly across this town. I can hit him twice with my spell and he will run after me as fast as he can. But the real problem with this escort quest is if he's not, there he was, if he's not close enough to me when we hit the door, he'll just give up on following me. I have to go back, find him again, and tell him to follow me again. And there are guard NPCs that he can get stuck on. And if he gets stuck on a guard, he'll just stand there and run back and forth in circles. Come on, dude. What are you doing? You got stuck on the guy. Come on. Follow me. This is a truly cursed Crab Rave split. I'm sorry that y'all are seeing this split at its worst. In this area, he can get stuck on any one of these patrolling guards. He can get stuck on these banisters. He can get stuck on the balconies. In spite of having grown up in this town, there he is over there. He's really bad at navigating it. So all we can do is hit the wait button and hope that his AI figures its business out. And it did. It only took us a little bit there. But we're probably a little behind on time right now. That was not a great Crab Rave split. So now we've done that, we have to check in with these counselors. It's a very specific order we have to do them. But it's like, you know, it's kind of the same. It's clip through the wall, asking the same question, clip through the wall, asking the same question. So if we have another donation or two, or is there anything you'd like to announce, this would be a great time to do it while I'm just dealing with these veterans.
I do not have 2 donations. I've got 3 for you.
Yo, what?
Which one do you want to hear first? Number 1, number 2, or number 3?
Let's hear all of them at the same time.
All right, then I'll... Oh dear. I've got €2 from Not My Dad, who is my dad. Who says, no, this is not your dad. Oh, all right, Dad. I've got another one from Not My Dad. €2 who compliments your beard.
Thank you. It's a labor
and
of
I've got
love.
one from... It's a labor of patience.
Just like speedrunning. There is no beard percent.
Wiser words were never spoken at this marathon.
And what's the third one?
I've got one from Brett with €10 saying, Zeb, I'd save the galaxy from Spacebug by throwing friendly fire grenades onto your back any day. Good luck, buddy. From your favorite carbohydrate.
Aw, that's my favorite carbohydrate. Alrighty, we are vibing now. Our next quest here, we have found out that we are in fact who we think we are, and we have to so kind of one of the subplots of this game is that this evil god who is trying to build a giant robot to destroy the world also has created a mind control disease that is also possibly a song and definitely also a dream. And we have to go get infected by it. And the easiest way to get infected by the dream song plague is to run through this incredibly complicated dungeon and shoot this guy through the ceiling. He has like an elephant nose. It's kind of wild. We're not going to see him because he's so far away. Because if we get close to him, he'll trigger a whole cutscene. Oh, that wasn't ideal. I missed a mark there. One of my spells didn't go off properly. That's going to be a 15 seconds there. We're not PBing on this run, that's for sure. A little bit of marathon jitters, sorry. We're going to go back to our friend here. Tell him that we killed the guy. Orders, continue. And he's going to say, oh my god, you now have the literal plague. You should probably get that cured. And we are going to actually ignore that advice. And we're going to go and be mean to some people in yurts instead. We'll get the plague cured later. But on the way, there's a camp. They have some problems. They have pacifists and warmongers in their camp. And they can't decide who to follow. And so you're going to resolve that problem by killing them all and taking their clothing. Which is how this works. So here's one of them. We're going to take his robe. The next one we're not going to take anything. We just have to sit and wait for him to finish dying. This guy, he's dead. The next ones we have to kill or take their necklace and their axe. And then we go and find out what the problem was, that we were supposed to be negotiating a peace deal between these people instead of just stabbing them all and taking their stuff. But it's okay because this game has a failsafe in case you did accidentally just go like full 7th grade Dungeons & Dragons character and just commit massive homicide. And that is that you can give all of their clothing to this teenage kid and he will become the new quest giver and he will confirm that you are ready for the next stage of the game. So we're going to give this guy his friend's dress and axe and amulet and give him a little motivational speech and he'll be like, okay, I guess you're in charge now. So that's a fun workaround of that quest. Next zone, we're going to get our disease cured, and this is a great time to talk about another mechanic in the game. The zone is Pelthier, and the mechanic is the warp plane. So in every interior zone like this, there is a bounding box to the zone, where if you travel outside of it, the game tries to send you back in. That's pretty common in games, right? But in this game, the warp plane just is supposed to teleport you to the front door of the zone, teleport you wherever you came into the zone. However, it's very difficult to test every warp plane in the game, and this game was made, you know, on a budget of about $5 out of duct tape and optimism. So there are some zones, including Telfir, where if you hit the warp plane, instead of teleporting where you came from, it'll trap you in a black blinking screen and lock you out of the game. So we didn't have that happen to us, which is great. We're going to hit the warp plane where we wanted, go back to the door, and try not to run afoul of the Telfir warp plane on this next sequence, because that is a massive time loss and also just really funny as we sit here in this blinking black screen, unable to interface with anything or anyone. We didn't do it. We survived the Telfir warp plane. Potion. Yes. Continue. And we're out. Cool. Next step. We got more wizards in towers to kill. These have that same problem where if we don't wait for them to die, we have to fly back here. So I gotta wait for him to finish moving. And then, remember a while ago, there was an NPC in a yurt. He wanted me to find him a wife. He wanted me to get him married. It was a long escort quest. We would find his bride and bring his bride and help him out with all his marital problems. But instead, if you hit... There's this very specific woman in a cage down here. And if you hit her with the magic shoes, she thinks she's married. And he thinks he's married, and they live happily ever after together. So, here she is. She's married now. We just go back and tell him, and he thanks us for finding him the perfect bride, even though they've never met. But by the power of magical footwear, anything is possible. And we are here. Thank you for my bride. Maybe you're the Neverine. And we're out like a trap. Okay, so the next people we have to appease are the Elvish Mafia. And the easiest way to deal with this Elvish Mafia is by shooting their leader, and then the rest of them are too scared to mess with me. So he finished dying. Gonna warp plane out of there. And now we just go talk to the rest of them, and there's a very specific set of dialogues we have to do that if we miss, it's very similar to missing the correct kills, where we're gonna find out later that we didn't talk to one of them properly, and it'll reset all of our hard work, which is kind of the worst. So she likes us, which means we're doing things right. That guy earlier with the really cool armor who wanted to fight us in a duel is gonna fight us in here. I love this NPC. He's one of my favorite NPCs in the whole game. He's so swaggy. He's so confident. He doesn't know that you cheat. He's dead now, but he did his best. Just like we all are. This next NPC wants us to bribe him, but it takes two. We actually have the money, but it takes longer to bribe him than it does to just shoot him in the head through the ceiling. And then over here, we're going to... they stacked 2 cells in the same house, so we go in one house and fly across the void and end up in another house. And then this is the house we want to be in. One last lady, she farms jellyfish out here on this island in the corner. There's her jellyfish farm. She's chill. She's really easy to forget about. Many runs have been lost to forgetting to talk to Jellyfish Grandma. We did not forget to talk to Jellyfish Grandma, which is good. And we are back to the main town. We have to, our librarian friend has been arrested. We have to go break her out of jail. Gonna say goodbye to our shirtless friend. It's the last time we'll see him. Final orders, bye shirtless friend. We have to go and break our librarian friend out of jail, which is in a magical asteroid. We're gonna fly up into this asteroid and lockpick it, and then give her a teleportation scroll, which is actually a pretty cool way to run a jailbreak in a fantasy game. Like Dungeon DMs, like take notes. A jailbreak where you have to like smuggle someone a teleportation scroll is a pretty cool plot point. But we're gonna break into her jail cell, which is over here in this asteroid. We're gonna ignore all the guards and all the other prisoners, and just give her a scroll and leave. So we're getting into the sequence now where we do all of our checks. This is all main quests, which means we have to confirm that we have finished all the main quests. And to do that, there's a sequence of NPCs we talk to. One of them for each great house, and then the final one who's like the religious leader, the Pope of sorts. So let's process continue. So we're going to talk to the 3 leaders of the houses, and there's very specific dialogue options we're looking for. And if we don't get those dialogue options, it means that we have screwed something up somewhere in the last 20 minutes of speedrunning, and we have to go fly back around the world and figure out what it is. Or in a non-marathon setting, what we do is we reset the run because we've just screwed everything up, and we're not going to lose 2 minutes. And we just start over, which is sad when that happens. It's about a 2 to 3 minute time loss if you've messed up one of these. And you won't know if you've messed it up until you talk to these guys and they say like, yo, wrong dialogue here. They don't say the thing you expected. But so far we are good. We have 2 more to check. And then we'll be on to, we have another donation incentive coming up, I think, right? Which was kill or spare Vivek. Vivek is the other god of this world. So if you could get a second to check, I'd love to know whether I'm going to be a killing god or not tonight.
All right, let me look that up real quick. Vivek's fate, kill or spare. There is a 35 donated towards kill.
Cool. I'm glad that we all agree. Vivek is the worst and deserves to die. So we are going to be killing God on this run, in addition to going fast. We're going to be killing 2 gods and a giant robot, which is really all you can ask for at Temple Doctrine. Yes, okay, good. That's the check right there. That's the check that we have successfully completed all the main quests. We are back on track for the last split of the game. Here is Vivek. He's levitating. He's really cool. He's a super complex NPC. He's really well written. He's got a giant dialogue tree. We're going to ignore him, and then we're going to beat him up. So, got to back. He's got a lot of health and he deals a lot of damage. Got to back him into a corner and just poke him a couple times. Come on. And God is dead. Sweet. That was killing Vivek. The game reminds us that he was an essential NPC and we shouldn't have been allowed to kill him, but we did. He's toasted. We are on to the final split of the game, where we're going to go and fly into the volcano at the heart of the world, break a giant mecha. Time's coming up in probably about 30 seconds or so, 45 seconds. We go into this dungeon. We get a very magnificent speech in a very magnificent voice which we ignore. We fly past the final boss, we break his robot, and then we teleport out. So here's the final boss. We're going to ignore him, or fly around him instead, because the game doesn't end on killing him. The game ends on breaking his heart, which is right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And time. That was the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind all main quests. That was the long category. Thank you all so much for joining this utter madhouse. I appreciate every one of you.
All right, very well done. I've got one more donation with a question you have to answer.
Oh, go on.
Yet again, a donation from Not My Dad, who's actually my dad. He donates €2 asking you, what's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer? Depends on the mood and the weather, but my favorite beer at the moment is probably the North Coast Brewing Blind Pig IPA.
All right, thank you very much. Anything else you want to say before?
I mean, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Bread and friends, for donating and hanging out. And I'm glad my first marathon went so smoothly. If you want to speedrun Morrowind, you should. There's only about 4 of us who do, because it's kind of miserable to learn. But once you've learned it, it's hilarious. And we're pretty friendly. So thank you all. And thank you, BSG, for letting me show this weird game off.
All right, thank you very much, Zebogo. Coming up next, a small intermission while we set up Rain on Your Parade, 80% by Steve at Steve TV Online. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back with you guys.